It's so good to be able to lead off the concert series again. Today's music, most of it started out connected with something else. Yeah, you're going to get the college professor lecture, so this is... Started without being just standalone. It was connected to something else. We're going to begin with a number that you know this number, but I'll explain later. It goes back to the 1800s. A young man by the name of Frans van Suppé went to law school just the way his parents wanted him to. Everything was going great. And then he said one day, I don't like this at all. Here it comes. I want to be a musician. Now, first of all, I can imagine, and you can imagine, that dining room table that night. It was probably really silent. So Frans van Suppé goes off to Vienna, Austria. Not only did he find fame, he found fortune. So I think his father and mother said, thank goodness. Well, he found fame and fortune because he found a niche. He found a niche writing incidental music for French operettas and for French plays. As a matter of fact, this piece of music that we're going to play started out that way. Later on, it was turned into an operetta. And he wrote this piece for a play that was entitled The Poet and Peasant. Now, I have to tell you, I keep thinking, if you take the Guiding Light and General Hospital and the Hallmark Channel, and you just put them in a blender and mix them all up, that's the kind of thing you're going to have, because quite frankly, audiences like that stuff. You don't admit it, but you like that kind of stuff too, where there's mixing this, and I'm a great guy, but no, she hates me, etc., etc. Well, it was Poet and Peasant. That's what he wrote this overture for. Now, you already know this overture. You might not know the name, but Frans van Suppé's music is perfect for Warner Brothers, for Walter Lanz, for Walt Disney, and for MGM. They put animated cartoons to them, and it's perfect, because you have seen it already. You've seen this number conducted by Bugs Bunny, Popeye, and my favorite interpretation is Mickey Mouse. So as you listen to this, you will remember this. Partway through, say, oh, I remember this. You'll remember Saturday morning cartoons, because it was probably how you got introduced to classical music. Well, here's one of the things that introduced you, but you get to hear the whole thing. Frans van Suppé's Poet and Peasant Overture, and yeah, it's a Mickey Mouse interpretation. you, you'd remember it. Yeah. Now, if you had this urge to go get some Cocoa Puffs or Rice Krispies and sit in front of the TV and watch downs, it was all good. It's really neat to do every once in a while to do that. That's called a transcription. You know, transcriptions were done because, quite honestly, the arrangers and composers, they just took the orchestral music and said, oh, well, we'll just give all the violin parts to the clarinet players and the flute players. Well, we know what the clarinet players and the flute players say. They say, what a great challenge. Let's do this. Let's do it even faster. At least that's what I think they say. I see a lot of mumbling, but I'm assuming that's what they say. Okay, because this is a band, we have to play a march. And what better march composer than John Philip Sousa? But I got a curveball here. We're going to play a number that was written, it was a march written in 1896. And it's from music that John Philip Sousa already had. Actually, he already had it on Broadway. Because Sousa, besides doing marches, that's what you and I think he did, but that was only part of what the man did. He composed and he did shows on Broadway. Now, it's not the Broadway that you and I know, but it was in the 1800s Broadway. And this was for an operetta called El Capitan. Remember, I talked about the silliness of poet and present? Well, El Capitan is that same kind of thing. So Sousa then took some of the themes that he'd already used and he put it into a march. The march is called El Capitan. And I'm not going to describe the storyline because trust me, it's the same combination, even sillier, but everybody got such a charge out of it. Now, the kind of neat thing, El Capitan was first played by combined naval bands when Dewey set forth to go fight the Spanish at Manila Bay in 1898. And when Dewey returned victorious, they played this march again. Now, you also know this march because, okay, here we go. Bill Cardill, Ringside Rosie, Izzy Moydell, which is? Thank you, Studio Wrestling. Now, here comes the ultimate test. Ready? See if you get it right. Who can? American, that's right, Pie Trainer. Well, if you got to hear part of the march, because it was played every week, quite honestly, that's how I learned it. Grandpap wants you to go over, stand by the TV, and put your hand with the tin foil on the rabbit ears. So I had to do that while my grandpa said, okay, stand right there. But I got to hear part of El Capitan. Now you get to hear all of it. El Capitan by John Philip Sousa. go back into folk songs. And let's face it, every country has a magnificent tradition of folk songs. The piece that we're going to perform is called An American River Song, and the title is Shenandoah. The arranger is Frank Ticheli. Now, you have to understand about folk music. Folk music evolves. So the question is, was Shenandoah the river? Well, yeah. Was Shenandoah the section of the country? Well, that too. Was Shenandoah the name of the indigenous chief? Yes. Was Shenandoah the name of his daughter? Yes. So it all depends on who's singing the song and who's doing what lyrics. The arranger, like I said, is Frank Ticheli, and for all you really heavy-duty, into-the-weeds musical nerds, Mr. Guerra, it is a sonata allegro form with an introduction, an exposition, a development, a recapitulation, and a coda. To the rest of you, it's just a real pretty piece of music. Shenandoah. there's nowhere to hide. We'd like to take American folk songs. Now we're going to go over to Scotland. This next piece of music was written by Major James Howe for His Majesty or Her Majesty's Scots Guards. They played it. This was one of those utilitarian pieces of music that a military band often has, because you play it as you're marching or you're sitting down and you play it as a concert. It's a suite, it really is, of Scottish folk songs, but it's all combined in the structure of a march, so you could actually march along while you play this. Now, because this is a British march, we're not going to play it at the American tempo that we are used to, 120 plus plus plus. We're going to play it at about 90, because that's the quick step of the British Army. So here we go, Glasgow Fair. Folk songs, plays, we have to go into the movies. All right, here we go. If I said the name Ennio Morricone, you would think it sounds Italian. Well, it is. Okay, here's a couple movies. For a fistful of dollars, a few dollars more, the Clint Eastwood. I hate the term, but he did the spaghetti westerns. Boy, do I hate that term. But he was the one that composed all this, you know, yeah, you already know that because you watch it. That was one of the guilty pleasures you had. Let's watch some of these pictures. Well, Morricone also composed for some other movies. One of the really, really fine things that he did was for a movie entitled, The Mission. Thank you. Whoa. Talk about having a moment of elderly here. It was The Mission. It starred Robert De Niro as a priest, and in it there was one scene where he is in the jungles, and he has an oboe, and he's playing this oboe, and it was fascinating to the natives around there, which probably kept them from harming him. But the next piece is entitled Gabriel's Oboe, and it just so happens we have a couple oboes here. So this one will be played by Margaret Kenny and Ennio Morricone's Gabriel's Oboe. Well, if we have a foreign composer, the next thing would be an American composer, movies and television. But we have a lot of choices, but I know how to make that choice even better. Pick somebody from Western Pennsylvania. I don't know, maybe West Aliquippa. And that would be Mr. Mancini. Yes, ma'am, it is Mr. Mancini. The toughest thing about this, it's a wonderful arrangement by Stephen Bullock, and it's entitled Mancini. The toughest thing about it is, which ones do you leave out? I think I must have like 45 mega hits. You know, sometimes they would say to Mr. Mancini, here's the scene, compose something. So he would, but he'd have something else in mind. Very often, that piece of music was going to be a barn burner. It was going to make the studio a lot of, it also made Henry Mancini a lot of money. But so every time we listen to Mancini's works, you know that it is artistry, but it's also with a mind on what the audience really liked and what they would really identify with. Sometimes we actually forget the movies, but we're left with this magnificent music. Now, you're going to know most of them. There's probably one person in this room that will know the one. Now, you all be tested on this at the end. Oh yeah, but they're locking the doors. And there's all they have the large collection basket out. So guys, I'm not trying to make things bad, but here we go. Mancini by Stephen Bullock. chart you didn't know. It's called Dreamsville. It came from a background scene in let's see. Come on, Max, think of it. Yeah. Background scene in Peter Gunn. So it's okay if you didn't know it, but just think of all the ones you did know. Okay, let's see. We have we did movies, we've done folk songs, we did operettas. We have to get to Broadway. And let's start off with the definitive. That would be George Gershwin. Okay? So, the great American story. Son of immigrants, grew up on the Lower East Side. His parents scraped and bought a piano so that his brother Ira could take piano lessons. And Ira didn't like the piano. Ira wanted to write poetry. So they said exactly what any father would say. George, I bought that piano, somebody has to play it and start playing. So, fortunately for us, George took to it like a duck to water. So he just started being the incredible person he was. Unfortunately, we lost him at a very young age, at age 39. But in those 39 years, he had written for Broadway, he had written for movies, he had done the great American opera, Porgy and Bess. He had ventured into classical music where when he went to Europe, and he got with Nadia Boulanger, and he got with Ravel, and they said, why be a second-rate Ravel when you can be a first-rate Gershwin? Which is what he did. So, because I know that this band plays wonderfully, I think so. Okay. I'm shameless. I'll get them applause no matter what. We also know that it's good to, it's good to have variation. So let's take a Gershwin number that was done for a Broadway musical, and it ended up as one of the great American songbooks. And I guess we had a choice. Either I could sing, which is not the choice anybody wants, or we could have Mary O. Brown sing. They can't take that away from me. Mike is on.
The memory hold your breath. The way we danced till 3. The way you changed my life. No, no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. They can't take that away. They can't take that away from me.
One Gershwin is good, 2 is better, and 5 and 6 are even better. The next arrangement was written by Warren Barker, one of my favorite arrangers, because he spent his life, you don't know the name, but he had a great career writing for TV, writing for movies. Let's see, he did the music to Bewitched. I know you're not going to admit you watched it, but if you had, you would have heard the arrangements by Warren Barker, and also Hello Dolly. He worked on that. Well, it wasn't until he retired that Hal Leonard publication approached him and said, you know, you really kind of know what you're doing, so would you like to write pieces for a wind band? And, you know, Barker said, I don't write for bands. He said, why don't you just do it? So he did, and everybody I've ever worked with has always said that somewhere in one of Warren Barker's swimming pools, there's a plaque with my name on it, because I have purchased every Warren Barker arrangement. This one's entitled Gershwin, and when you listen to how the man handles with great deference and with great positivity the Gershwin arrangements, you're going to love it. So here we go, Gershwin. And you're allowed to sing along, but it does change key. This afternoon, I know it's already been announced, but on June 9th, we lost Jim Beck, who along with Dean Streeter founded Community Band South 36 years ago, and the person with whom I was honored to have shared the conducting spot here at CBS for the past 6 or 7 years. We know that Jim's time on earth is over, but it's his legacy that is living on with all those with whom he came in contact, students, fellow musicians, family, and friends. In paying tribute, we in CBS, we don't have to write flowery eulogies. We can play music because where it will comfort all of us and honor him, and then those same musical sounds will go out into the universe, where if I know Jim, he'll enjoy them. And if I know Jim, he'll probably comment if anything is out of tune, and I'm sure I will hear about it. For this musical tribute, we have chosen Percy Granger's Irish Tune from County Derry. Some would argue this 1918 composition is the single greatest work ever conceived for a wind band because it says it all in an incredibly succinct manner. Percy Granger's Irish Tune from County Derry. would play the Armed Forces Salute, and it's appropriate. But we chose to go a slightly different direction, and that is the August Ward Carmen Draken arrangement of America the Beautiful. We all know the first verse. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. But I want you to think of the third verse, which not many of us know. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. America the Beautiful. Okay, whether you wanted it or not, I heard the applause. You get an encore. This is the encore that Jim and I would do at every concert. He would conduct it, and I would go out and shake hands with the band. which quite honestly left me nothing to do but shake hands with everybody, and it's very important. But it's now, obviously, the Stars and Stripes forever. But here's something that always bugged me. First of all, you know darn well they're going to play it well. I get to conduct you, but it's on the applause. So here it is. That's to begin, that's to end. That's loud, that's soft. Let's try it. We've got to practice. Here we go, guys. Ready? Oh, by the way, even though we're Western Pennsylvania and our DNA says you clap on 2 and 4, no. You got to clap on 1 and 3 because it's the tradition. I don't know who started it, but the person wasn't from PA. So it would be, now, ready? Here it is. 1, 2, ready, go. That's why you practice. See, I told you. So now, that's to start, that's to stop. This is loud, this is soft. Now you have to do one other thing. Because this is a tradition, the piccolo player, the one person in the band that gets up and takes a solo, if you appreciate the effort that piccolo player and the expertise and artistry, you have to applaud. You're allowed to applaud just by yourself, but don't worry, I'm going to rein you in and get you back applauding. Okay, so here we go. The Stars and Stripes Forever. And by the way, it was an honor for us to be here. I hope you enjoyed the concert. So here we go.
so much for coming. Again, thanks to Community Band South. Jim would be very proud of your performance today. It would be bravo, bravo. Tremendous job. Thank you for sharing your love of music from your heart, your mind, and our hands, and for keeping music for a lifetime. God bless you. And don't forget, next week, the new vintage big band at the same time, same place. Thanks again. Have a wonderful afternoon.